and welcome everyone. We are live with MIT's B team versus Queens College. So this is a Division 4 matchup. They rescheduled to this time, and I was free at this time, so here we go. Got God Brian versus Gigsta. Quite the mismatch in rating, but that is pretty common in the first round. You get board 4 versus board 1. Actually, Gigsta is playing. Gigsta should be uh the fourth board, I guess. Wait, where is CCL So yeah, they are playing. Actually, it might. I might have all the ratings flipped around, but that's okay. Um, oh, is Jeremiah their top board? I'm figuring this out. Hold on, where's Ronnie? I enjoy bananas. Okay, yeah, I have the boards a little messed up, but that's okay. So we're gonna fix this. Let's see here. Gigs to down. I believe we move these two down. Put that there. Let me see if that makes more sense. So yeah, this should be Queen's top board. And then we should have Ronnie versus Ice Oh no, Rice. Or not Rice. I combined Ronnie and Ice. I'm a mess, you guys. I don't know if you can tell. Let's try this. Or maybe I had MIT's board wrong. Ice Dragon should be, it really doesn't matter. Let's just watch the games. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I don't even have the chat up right now. I'm so out of it. Yo, what's up, Jag? Did you beat their Oh, you're talking to Kim Stud. Oh, Phi's here, cheering on MIT. Oh, did I even announce on Discord that I'm live? Man, I'm so out of it. I told them that I'd be streaming their match, so they're probably pretty excited about all that, but then I show up late, don't even talk about their games. But yeah, this is a Division 4 matchup, which is pretty fun. That rook actually you could have baited it, and if they had taken, you would have knight check, winning the queen. Although it would cost you a knight and a rook, but it still would have been cool. Okay, that was a free pawn, instead opting to hit the rook. Yo, Kim Stud sharing that Twitch clip. I don't know if Kim Stud saw, but there is a prize for most viewed Twitch clip of the season. So hopefully Kim Stud's gonna get that. We'll see. Starting off strong with a clip on the first day of the season. So all right, I just announced in the Discord, so hopefully we get some more people showing up. But yeah, let's see. This is MIT's captain, actually. Ice Dragon is Eileen Ma, and she's been helping organize her teams and getting them registered and all of that. This looks like a free piece to me. No, actually, the queen is pinned currently, so the knight is defending this, but why not? Okay, take. Everything works out. So, yeah, this move works, interestingly enough. So, queen takes, knight takes back. Eileen maintains her advantage here. Let's look at another game. Let's tune into, believe this is This is Jeremiah. So Jeremiah against MIT's bottom board, Carlos. So this game is much more balanced. Although Jeremiah has about 400 rating point advantage. So we'll see if they can make some progress here and try to break through. Okay. D4 here. So trying to attack this pawn mass that black has accumulated here. This knight is pinned as there's a checkmate threat. So the knight cannot move. What does black do? Do they take? And if so, how do they take? These are the questions going through Jeremiah's mind right now. They have doubled pawns. They could undouble them. They take this way. I don't know if that makes much of a difference, but white right now is starting to take this pawn, redoubling the pawns. But black takes here, which I think is wise. White will simply recapture this, and that unleashes a discovery attack of the queen on the bishop. So black will likely defend the bishop by moving it or defending it with a piece. I think rook along the e-file makes a lot of sense, lining up opposite the queen, instead offering a bishop trade. So white will either maintain the bishop, not trading it, or they will take. I think taking is probably a mistake as you're helping black develop here. So this is an interesting move, connecting the knights, hitting the bishop again, and also opening up the rook to defend the bishop. I like this move a lot from Carlos. So here we have simply bishop takes and now rook takes. And now we have the rook coming along the e-file, pinning the knights to the queen. White can simply get out of this pen by moving the queen, not here, as the rook is here. So black has really good activity. White is a move shy of getting the last piece into the game. So here putting the queen to support the knight. The rook is also here to defend as well. So 3 attackers for black, 3 defenders for white. But now this knight hops in. And the awkward part about queen here is that the queen is actually hanging. It is pinned once the knight moves. So I like this move a lot. Adding yet again another attacker onto the knight. The knight will need to be defended. It cannot move without giving this check here, which is actually somewhat a cool idea, as the queen is also not protected for black. So interestingly enough, if white had control over the f6 square with another piece, knight discovery would be very strong. Actually, no, there would be rook takes, which defends the queen. But anyways, we have 1 trade of knights, and now both players down to their last minor piece, a bishop versus a knight. How is this game shaping up? I mean, it's even material. Oh, we have some results on the other boards, actually. Revanth P has won their game against Sovuk, who is the second board for Queens College. So MIT's third board is actually higher rated than Queens College's second board. And we have Eileen winning her game against the enjoyer of bananas, Ronnie. So that is 2 points for MIT, starting off strong. We have 12 seconds left for Gigsta, who is the 4th board for Queens College. And they're actually up material. So it is 2 minor pieces versus a rook, which is typically good for the side with more pieces. Ooh, this hangs a pawn. The bishop was protected by the knight there. So material has been balanced, but again, 2 pieces favor, or they're more favored over a rook. Sorry, I said that really weird, but I think the determining factor in this game has to be the time advantage. You cannot play this accurately with just 10 seconds left. I mean, I'm hoping they prove me wrong, but it's gonna be tough. Actually, is that a... Yeah, I mean black missed a free piece here, so looks like okay, they found it, but yeah, I think they were trying to just play for speed. And yeah, the clock is gonna wind down here. Oh my god, I thought they flagged. It's just slowly registering that they moved. It hit zero like once or twice, but maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know. What's up, Docky? Good to see you. 3 seconds. Oh my god. Everything's falling apart. Oh, and they had it pre-moved. Just don't make a bad pre-move. They're not taking another piece. I mean, they always miss it the first time. He's gonna go for it a second time. There's a fork. White's not giving up. There's always stalemate possibilities. I'm gonna look at the other game real quick. So White's gotten out of the pen. They're defending themselves. This is a trade of rooks being offered. So what is going on? Okay, offering trade of everything. Let's trade queens. Let's trade rooks. Both sides under 30 seconds. This pawn is hit. The rooks have been traded. The king is activating. The king is leading. He's like showing the way to the rook. Attacking this backwards pawn. You got to defend this. And now launch the pawns, I guess. This is a passed pawn. So white only has 2 pawn islands. Black has 3. So the structure is slightly better for white. However, black has a passed pawn. And this could be a very valuable pawn because of that. And it's connected. It's defended. And on top of that, it is the farthest advanced pawn. God Brian just beat Gigsta. They had nothing left besides their king and their dignity. So they resigned, I guess. But we're down to the last board for Queens College here. Their top board. Ooh, black's got a really strong threat here. I don't think you can stop it. I don't think this is stoppable. In fact, it's unstoppable. Yeah, this is not gonna cut it, as this comes with check and this comes with check again, and there's got to be mate soon. We have another resigner. So Jeremiah Smith getting at least 1 point for Queens College after round 1. So they are ready for round 2 now. At least I'm ready. I don't know. Orange username's bad? What are you guys talking about? All the cool kids have orange usernames. Kimstad was 1.5 out of 4 on board 4. Oh, wait, Kimstad, you went 1.5 out of their top 2, and then you lost to their bottom 2? That's unfortunate. Shout out Kimstad. Shout out to Kimstad and Jag250, the future streamers of collegiate chess. Jag, you have problems with OBS. Maybe I can help you. The Trojan Chess Channel. I need to make a template that college chess streamers can use. Also, I'm working on getting a new scoreboard. Wait, I probably have the wrong colors for Queens College. Does anyone know what Queens College was? I literally just used the old template. Hold on, let me look this up. Mid-match. I'm so sorry. Please be. Oh, they're blue and red. Oh yeah. Hold on. Easy fix, you guys. Easy fix. Check this out. Boom. Done. I'm a professional. All right, speaking of being professional, let's check out this chess game that's happening before us. So we have a this is a ghost capture here. So Revanth taking an imaginary knight, losing their own knight, and White is still baffled and only now takes the bishop. Had to decide which pawn to take with. Taking towards the center. So, yeah, you gotta love Division 4 matchups because of things like that. If that happened in Division 1, some people would be losing their mind, but alas, you know, all is still well. The game continues. The game goes on as if nothing happened, as if that was on purpose. But that is an unfortunate pre-move situation there from Revanth. It would have been interesting if the roles were reversed, if the higher rated player was down a piece, trying to play with odds. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The game is far from over, I will say. Far from over. Refresh the match score, though. It doesn't auto-update. I'm not sure. What you mean? It looks like it's updated to me. But anyways, let's move on to another game here. Let's see how all the games are doing. Oh, I didn't realize Kimstud, but thank you. You play on D2, old man Reed? I'm excited to spectate some Division 10 games. I think that's where the real entertainment is. We need to spectate some. We need to do Wisconsin C versus Wisconsin D. That's the matchup of the century people are looking for. Oh, that's a long timeout. I didn't realize how long of a timeout that was. I thought it would just be like 10 seconds. Hold on. Hold on, buddy. Let me get you. All right, you should be good now. Oh, it was only 10 seconds the first time. You tried it a second time. That's what got you, dude. That's what got you. It's a second time. Moobot's smarter than that. Moobot knows what .com means. Moobot sees past your tricks. I wonder how good Moobot is at chess. I wonder if they've enabled that feature yet. Oh, dude, Kimstud is playing with fire now. He's just going for it a third time. Yeah, Wisconsin's C and D teams are in the same division, and we put them in the same group as well. We moved an Indian team up to Division 9, I think, because they would be in a group of like 4 other Indian teams. If we kept them where they were, they would have been all by themselves, I think. So we just made an executive decision. And Division 10 doesn't have any prize funding either, so it's purely casual. And it's our lowest division, so like why not? We've done similar things kind of in the years past where like our bottom division is always just kind of, it's like it exists for the purpose of allowing players to play. And we thought, you know, Wisconsin could play themselves. I think it actually works out because they might have had like an issue during one of the weeks, and now they can just play themselves and take care of it. Okay. Sorry, back to the actual match before us. The match at hand. God Brian, the top board from MITB, doubling the rooks along the F file. Perhaps, ooh, yeah, no, this wins material now. Actually, the bishop's hit, so, I mean, you could take this and lose that. Then you take this, and all these good things are happening. I like this move. I mean, the rook is hit, right? The rook is hit. If you save the bishop, you're losing the exchange. So, might as well go for this. The point is that the pawn is pinned. So, the queen can't take, otherwise you lose the queen. So yeah, give up the bishop, take the knight. So black kind of has to take back. But now white's going to get in there with a lot of these moves. And bishop here not only threatening this, but also this. The bishop is defending this at the moment. That's why you would want to take here first. If the knight comes back attacking the rook, you take here. I'm feeding all the moves right now to God Brian. Hopefully they're not listening. All right, this is Gigsta versus Eileen. Gigsta's real name is Peter. It's not actually Gigsta. Don't let him fool you. Ice Dragon here, up a pawn. So they're clearly winning. But look at the time advantage as well. Eileen's playing this very smoothly in terms of time. So the knight comes up with a punch. So this piece will move and does so. The only other alternative would be to take the knight. But Eileen is playing with the bishop pair. She likes the bishops, and she's going after the king here on the dark square. This is also a strong idea. So there's a check. You can block, but probably you don't want to block. You probably want to move. Okay, here. Now this, I assume, threatening the rook. Or, well, actually, how do you defend the knight? So I thought king here probably would have been better. And I think it is, because the bishop is not only attacking the knight, but it's attacking the rook behind the knight. And you actually can't move any piece to defend the knight. Oh, I had lied to all of you. Gigsta found a move that I could not find. Although I do think that f3 would have been good there. If bishop here, then maybe c4 would have been good there. So you would lose this pawn. Actually, you wouldn't. I mean, the pawn's defended, everything's hanging. So yeah, this should be winning material. This also is winning material. So Eileen she's spoiled for choice. Now she's getting the pawn on top of that as well. The pawn was only able to block the bishop for so long. That pawn just threw itself in front of the bus that was about to hit somebody, and unfortunately the bus is going to hit both pedestrians at this point. So that was unfortunate. CCLQ taking advantage of the that extra piece that was given to them. The king wandered too close to the sun and got mated by a pawn. Okay, so let's update Jeremiah's score. He's at 2, not 12. That one pawn mate counts for 12 points. The match is over. Should we introduce like 3-pointers like in NBA? A 3-pointer chess game. If you mate someone with a pawn, it's worth double the score points. Bishop e4 loses to f3. You would know, Docky. I wouldn't know. Which game was it? This one? Oh yeah, f3 was winning for sure. I agree with you. Look at the time disparity as well here. Eileen is crushing it, both in position, on the board. So this game should be wrapping up somewhat soon. Let's look at Sovuk versus Carlos. So what's going on here? We've got an extra piece for Carlos, a piece for a pawn. And so Carlos will try to convert this advantage, this piece advantage. The knight should hop in at some point. That's a fork now. So the knight was patient. The knight waited for the right opportunity to strike. And the king stepping up was all that was needed. So there goes another pawn. So no longer down a piece for a pawn, or up a piece for a pawn. It's just straight up a piece for yet another pawn. So yeah, this knight is just making swift work of these lonely pawns here. Knight here attacking this. If the pawn pushes, you go back. No way to defend it. The pawn is running. Both players under a minute now. Oh, we had a result from God Brian. We missed this. So Ronnie, the enjoyer of bananas, goes down to a god. Yeah, you can't stop mate there. Well, you can stop mate by resigning, so. Didn't get mated, got resigned. I don't know what's worse. The end result is the same. What's up, Skulzy? Please no 3-pointers. You say that now, but when you're in the last game and you're down by 2 points and they've already clinched the match score and you got the prizes on the line, could you imagine how hype it would be? Like, dude, if you checkmate him with en passant, your team just wins the match. We're implementing that in season 4. I'm just kidding. That would be crazy. We could do like a one-off event like that, maybe. An all-star team. Yo, imagine an all-star battle where we take like the top we take the top 16 rated players from the entire league, regardless of their college, and we put them into teams of 4 and then make them play a Final Four. That would be sick. The all-star match. Uh-oh. This king's a little short on squares, but not mated, so that's good. I think it's hard to self-mate at this point. I say that, but... Okay. I mean, white is fighting. For sure. Queen with check, though. That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be hard to beat. So... At least they can get rid of the pawn moves relatively quickly. Like pawn here. You need to get rid of this last pawn move. Don't worry about that one. Worry about this one. No, it's not going to cut it. Because now this pawn has an extra move. So it's going to be impossible to get rid of 2 pawn moves. Like, see... yeah. Alright, Carlos wins that against Sovak. So... Carlos getting their first point of the day. MIT with a commanding lead, 5-2. Queens College only has 2 points from their top board. And their top board here is playing Eileen Ma now, the leader of MIT. Hey, what's up, Nicholas Tice? Did the All-Star League. I'm pitching the idea. We're definitely gonna propose it. We'll have to ask the top 16 players of the league if they would be down to do it. And if one of them or whatever isn't, then we'll just take the next player in line. We got enough players to make it happen. The problem is, though, they would probably be too busy to like coordinate a match time or something. They would probably be like, nah. And then we'd be like, well, what if we paid you? And they'd be like, all right. Oh, those times you were talking about that I was busy, I'm free those times now. Like, I guess money talks. They're better. Dude, okay, so what if we did the reverse? What if we took the bottom 16 players in the entire league. And then we put them on a team with the top 16 players. So the top 2 players are both grandmasters. The bottom 2 players are sub 1,000. And then we have them play in a match. Somebody stop me. I'm coming up with too many great ideas. The league is gonna fall apart due to events that have nothing to do with actual college competition. I'm just using the players for my own entertainment. Keep the ideas coming. Somebody write this down. April Fool's Day. We put you guys in the wrong teams on the pairings. All right. I'm trying to focus on chess. You guys are distracting me. What's happening here? Uh-oh. Eileen. Eileen, what's going on over here? What's happening? Tell me. So, knight hits the bishop. Bishop tucks back. Queen here. Where's the knight going? That's tough. Ah, so the knight isn't going anywhere. The queen comes with a counterpunch. Go ahead, take my knight. I'll take your bishop. Black saying, you know what? I don't want your knight. I want your king. So, do your worst. That's a tough spot to be in. So how do you defend yourself? You got to go here, here, here. That works for one move, but that's all you get. This and this, there's potentially this. So yeah, also you could just take that at that point. Yeah, Jeremiah's playing this really well. Here's that. This, but now there's that. Ouch. Yeah, the rook cannot exist on f2 because of the bishop, but also the rook was torn between defending the bishop and the checkmate. And so the rook decided to defend the checkmate. You know, the rooks got their priorities straight, but the bishop was left in the dust, hanging. Gone forever. To the wrath of the knight. So Eileen's going to have a tough time moving forward in this position, I believe. Let's move on to God Brian. Looks like God Brian's doing pretty well here. Let's see what happened, shall we? Let's go back. Let's review the evidence of this murder scene that we're witnessing. Okay, so it looks like a sacrifice on b5. Knight takes, knight takes. So the sacrifice was justified. Godbrian's only up a pawn at this point. The tactics were worth a pawn. Sovuk, rook to b8, attacking the b2 pawn. But at a very strong price of a whole entire rook. And I like this move as well. Look at the awareness here from God Brian saying, go ahead, take the bishop. Bishop here wins the queen. So trading the queens off, trading the bishop off. And yeah, you're up 2 pawns and a rook. This is really good for MIT's top board. Sovuk hung the rook there. So long, Sovuk's rook. Okay, what's going on in this game? We got Revanth. I believe Revanth dropped the piece against Jeremiah in the second round. So far, so good here. No dropped pieces. In fact, they're up a pawn. So, turning things around here. Always good to see. They are down a minute, though, on the clock. The knight wishes to come in with a fork on the queen and the rook. Will Gigsta allow it? Come on, Eileen is a song for sure. I was gonna say it, but I'm sure Eileen's heard it too many times. All right, this is the last game that I haven't looked at. This is Ronnie versus Carlos. We've got connected knights. We've got an f6 pawn push. Trade of rooks. Is the second rook going to come into the game for Carlos? Carlos is up on time. Eileen finally loses to Jeremiah by resignation. There's a lot of pieces here for black and an extreme lack of pieces for white. The disparity was too high. So Eileen threw in the towel. So Jeremiah, flawless so far. 3 for 3. Had he checkmated with en passant, he would have gotten 3 points in one game. But he worked hard for those 3 points, earning them each individually. One at a time. He's an honest working man, Jeremiah. Jeremiah sounds like an honest working man's name. Jeremiah works all day just to, you know, keep providing for his family. He grows his own food. That's the work that he does. He's a farmer. And his family just eats all of his food. He's got a huge family. Like, literally, the family members are needed to make the food. His farm is so big because his family's that big. It's a huge mess, but he's really good at chess. He's won every single game that he's had so far, and there's no stop in sight. He's going to be playing God Brian in the next round. God Brian beat Sovuk. I don't know if I recorded this, but yeah, God Brian was up a rook. Yeah, Sovuk dropped the rook and dropped the game. So God Brian versus Jeremiah, both players undefeated going into the 4th round. This is going to be an intense match. Actually, I don't even know. Did I miss another score? Because there's 2 games left. I have 9 total points, which puts me at 11, which means I missed something. So somebody has to tell me what I missed. Otherwise, it'll be missed forever. Maybe I missed a point for Eileen. I don't know. Instant division win, en passant mate, or just en passant in general, nitro. Because those are 2 very different things. The en passant mate, okay. Because if en passant just meant you win, like, players would have to be careful. They gotta watch out. Okay. What's going on here? Knight and queen versus knight and queen. We have another one of those instances where the pawn structure is better for black because there's only 2 pawn islands, whereas white has 3 pawn islands. This guy's kind of on its own. And in this case, there is no passed pawn for either side. So pretty even, I would say, overall. This pawn is hit twice, though. Hard to defend this. You can push. Pawn takes, drops this, so this works. Oh, it doesn't work. Never mind, I lied. Don't listen to me. Revanth is in the think tank, so this pawn will fall. This pawn will be passed. Does Revanth have any plans against Gigsta here? Gigsta's got a time advantage as well. Will they pull the trigger on this? So they take with queen. This is pinning the knight. The knight could move, but you don't really want to trade queens down material. And it's kind of hard. You have to go queen here, basically. Queen here doesn't get you out of the pin, so the knight would like to move at some point without trading queens. Let's look at this game. 20 seconds for Ronnie. We have 2-on-1 here. in the center. So I think black is doing all right, although white is looking to get this e pawn. Black can take this pawn. This would be a favorable trade for white. Two pawns connected here, very strong. It creates a wall that the king cannot pass. So once one pawn falls, the wall breaks and the king can enter and apply pressure to all the pawns. So it's kind of hard to defend this. If you push, you trade. The knight is tied down to the pawn here, and this knight can pretty easily capture it again. So probably best to go for something like this. Oh, this works too, actually. So check and defending this way is actually probably the best continuation. That was a lot smarter than anything that I thought of doing. So yeah, black is just gonna gobble all these up. The king, the difference in kings is gonna be the difference in this game. So white is literally the farthest away from the center possible, and black could not be more centralized if they tried. That difference alone is what's going to win this game for Carlos. So pretty evenly matched game up until this last bit here. I mean, the time also seems to be getting to Ronnie. Yeah, I like taking this way, keeping the pawns as far away as possible, making life a bit more difficult for the white pieces. And yeah, you just continue the push, the journey. Revanth won their game. So yeah, I'm definitely missing a game. I don't know what I missed, but I know that I missed something. So maybe I'll have to try to open these players in like a new window or something to see their games. Let's see. So I have Carlos at 1 point. He's going to win this game though. Yeah, Carlos has only won one game. Okay, so I know it's not Carlos. How about Ronnie? So Carlos won their game with mates. Ronnie has lost all 3 games. All right, let's look at here are the 2 top boards. So let's see how this game goes. Jeremiah already up pawn out of the opening. A Caro-Kann defense here, where the pawn has never been recaptured. So Jeremiah is holding on to it. This pawn is pinned. This is forcing the trade. If you went back, you could have gotten forked. So didn't want to go down that line. Trading off instead. Getting rid of the pin, which is nice. So can God Brian put a halt to Jeremiah's reign? Jeremiah sounds like a guy that would pray to a god named Brian. So these 2 players were destined to meet in the play. This is the battle between 2 titans. An unstoppable force and an immovable object. You like God Brian's position more, despite being down material. They are down a little development, but they're only 1 move away from castling. These pawns are awkward, I will say. Black should be able to try to break this down. A5 coming. Well, I think A5, C3 makes a lot of sense. So just because A5 doesn't mean that they have to take. Knight attacking this guy. Also offering a trade. So probably take. Maybe this move. So yep, a trade here. Jeremiah's liking the trades. So here we go. Here's the A5 break. I do not expect a capture here. instead defending with the A pawn instead of the C pawn. So the C pawn might want to jump 2 squares in only one move, perhaps. So going with this pawn instead. This also comes with a potential rook trade, which would be good for Jeremiah. You want to trade material down when you're up like this. And I do suspect white wants to play here. Probably wants to get rid of this pawn, as this pawn is blocking this pawn. So this pawn is also somewhat backwards. And this, after you take, you're giving yourself a chance that this pawn would take, and then this pawn becomes passed. So probably if this, you wouldn't want to take here. You would just maintain the tension, and if they take here, then you take this way. Because you want to make sure that this pawn is around to prevent any funny business happening on the queen side. Let's look at, we got Eileen versus Sovik. The top 2 boards. Yeah, Eileen has won twice, so I missed Eileen's point. That's what I thought. So they just beat Gigsta, and they beat Ronnie as well before. So MIT has technically won the match. They're over 8.5, or they're over 8. So we're just down to this final round here between the 2 teams. And, you know, Queens College always has the en passant checkmate hope alive. So we could always flip the results of the match. You never know. How upset would you be if you were on a team that won? You guys, like, I don't know. Let's say you won, like, 10-6. And then I was like, sorry, guys, you guys lost that match. And you're like, what? And I pull up some random link that has our rule book, and the world's tiniest asterisk is at the bottom of the page, and it's like, any team that wins with en passant checkmate in any of the individual boards wins the entire match, regardless of score. I think at that point you couldn't even be upset. You'd be like, okay, it's in the rules, I guess. Like, that's my bad for not knowing. And that way we'll ensure that players read the rules better for subsequent seasons. If that happens to you once, you'll be scarred. Like, dude, you probably also wouldn't play in the league anymore. That was fun and all. I think I'm done though. I think I'm gonna stick to watching sports on TV with my friends. It's probably more my pace. Let's look at this game. God Brian is running low on time as well as material. Things have not turned out well for God Brian. Why would you take with the pawn here? What is wrong with this move? I mean, maybe this, but like, what's so bad about that? You take. Okay, takes with pawn. What actually happened? Knight, queen. You just gave this up? Why not rook lift? Well, you know what they say, God works in mysterious ways, and if Brian wins that, I will never question I will never question God Brian's abilities ever again. But yeah, I think Jeremiah's got this one in the books. Pawn and exchange up. But you know, it's not over yet. The G file has been opened, which opens new lines and worlds of possibilities. God Brian's not giving up, so neither should I. You can't give up hope. Once you lose hope, the battle is lost, so. you, you also don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately. I was gonna say you could also, try to go for the flag, but if Brian goes for the flag in this position, that is just truly impressive. I think you pass the pawn for sure. So you got a connected pass pawn now. Now you bring this guy in. Uh-huh. And also with the F pawn moving, let's say you take here. I was gonna say leave this here and go back. You got potential on the diagonal. Oh, bishop here. Yeah, so trying to keep material on the board makes sense because you're down material. But this king has really curled up into a ball here, surrounding itself with its closest allies. But unfortunately, I don't think this will keep him safe forever. This is pressure on this pawn. Pawn is defended. But not this pawn. This pawn is pinned. Okay, so trade of pawns here, though. There's also, you can't give up. You can't give up. Pawn push, hit this here. Things can happen. 6.9 seconds. You can never count someone out with 6.9 seconds. Anything can happen. Now, Jeremiah is required to wait until their clock also matches 6.9 seconds. If they play too soon, they have to withdraw. I don't know. Okay, so this is threatening, I guess, this. Imagine there was some sick, like, queen sack double mate check. Probably not there, but this is a good move. This just forces the queens off. Rook here, and this pawn is running. Probably pawn push. Just get rid of them. Yeah. Get rid of the material. Here you can sack the rook, and that's exactly what they do. Had it on pre-move and resigned. All right, so Jeremiah taking down God Brian. Going flawless on the day. All right. This king has no pawns. This is a homeless king. This king has a nice roof over his head. This king is struggling. Ronnie is up 2 pawns. How did this happen? Where did your pawns go, Revanth? You've got a nice thing going with the 3 pawns here. You've got a fianchetto. You go here. You take. And now, what happened to the last 2? You didn't defend this. Hits the rook, moves the rook, loses the pawn. Check, 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 take. Okay. So, king goes here. Potentially afraid of this rook, but now Revanth can get a pawn back. I enjoy bananas, trying to trade rooks. And does so with check. This rook kind of defending down everything. As well as the knight, actually. Both pieces covering the dark squares. I think white should be covered on the second rank here. Just makes chess so much more interesting. I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, the roofs and the houses. Oh my god. Yeah. Try to make the pieces come alive. Okay. So yeah, luckily, like, the rook is defending the knight. There's really no clear breakthrough. The queen can't go too far away, otherwise... Okay, well, queen f1's mate, so I tried to warn you. Yeah, there it is. The enjoyer of bananas gets the mate. So that was actually their first win of the day. So they did not get swept. It's all about the little victories. They might not have won the match, but I was gonna say, did they win the war? I don't know. I guess they lost the match. Well, they won something. They won. They won our hearts. Okay, we've got 2 games left. Sovak is down to their last 2 seconds. Make a move. Okay. Wait, what's the queen doing over here? Wait. We're looking at it from black's point of view. We're trading this down. Oh, this is rough. Could take here, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Defense. Oh, that's a Botez gambit. That was a free queen. That pawn was protected, my friend. Oh my goodness. You can take this, no? No, not really. Well, I guess the knight defends the mate there. That would have been a funny counter Botez gambit. Check and then mate, but not really. This game is like, probably black is still better because of the king activity, but no, it's probably a draw. That's crazy. But there's also low chances that Eileen would do that. I'm just saying, what if? I'm dreaming here, all right? Let me have my dreams. Okay, MIT, top 2 boards, both 3 out of 4. I guess they both lost to Jeremiah, yeah. Revanth, 2 out of 4, and down to Carlos now. Oh my god, one sec. Oh my god, move. No, wait, what? The 2.1? Oh my god. That lag though, they were at 0 for how long? Oh, I thought that was it. They've been given a second life, a new opportunity. Oh my god, move. 2.1 again, dude. You're doing this on purpose, I swear. How do you do 2.1 twice? Down to your last 10th of a second. Gigsta. Move, Gigsta. Put your running shoes on. This king is dancing. He's got dance moves, although unfortunately he's dropping the knight, so. Oh, white didn't want it. White said, your piece is too low for me to take. It's pinned. It's pinned even. Like, it's going nowhere. Why take it? You know, why take the knight when I can just toy with... I mean, well, okay, Carlos is actually now lower on time. So now they finally take it. They're up a whole rook. So... But, I mean, at this time control... You could flag, honestly. 2 seconds is increment, but, like, how much is it really? You know? Gigsta might think it's a lot, because he's clearly messing around with the time. Like, dude, 2 second increment is a lot. All I need is that 2 second increment, and then get me down to 0.1. That's all I need. He's getting rid of the pawn. Oh no, that's his only legal move. That's forced mate. Yeah, Carlos wins that one. But at least Gigsta made it to see the mate. Down to 0.1 seconds twice. That was wild. All right, you guys. That was the match. 5-11 is the final score.